Let's begin by finding our seat of power. This pose is effective for reducing lower back problems, neck and shoulder tension, and it's a great way to start your day at the desk. I invite you to stretch your feet out in front of you. Bring your attention to your big toe, little toe, and your heels, and just push down into the ground. As you do so, drag your feet with awareness back towards your knees until the ankle is aligned with the knee. Now I'm going to invite you to place your fists between your knees so that you're separating the knees so that they're in alignment with the hip. So this is known as stacking the joints and really gives you a feeling of freedom while seated. Place your fists between your knees and just hug the knees in, creating some form of resistance. You'll feel your legs engage. Keep your awareness to your feet. So dig the heels and the toes into the ground, the sensation of sinking the feet into the ground, a great way to anchor. I'm going to invite you to peel the skin away from your thighs and turn the skin towards the inseam. Do that on the other side. So we're literally lifting the skin away from the bones and turning it inwards. It helps to release some of the tension we may be carrying in our muscles. Then place your hands under your buttocks and peel the skin away from your sit bones. Do that on the other side. You may notice how easily the spine now sits in a neutral position whilst you're aligned to sit on your sit bones rather than curling the tailbone under and sitting on your sacrum. So it's a very easy way of gaining neutral spine and hovering from the hips, displacing any tension you may feel in your lower back. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears and rotate the shoulder blades backwards. Just grab hold onto your chair with your hands wherever it's comfortable and hinge forwards from the hips, just lengthening your arms behind you. And this will provide a really lovely extension to the spine, moving through the neck to the crown of your head and back to neutral. We're going to do an easy twist, seated twist. Place your left hand onto the chair wherever it's comfortable, the right hand against your left knee. And we're going to use this resistance to pivot from our hip and turn to face the left. Using the breath this time, inhaling, extending through the spine and twisting a little farther to the left. And if you like, you can turn your neck to face the opposite direction to really get more of a deeper twist along the spine. And when you're ready, come back to neutral position, so you're facing forward. Let's try that on the other side. So using the left hand, placing it on the right knee, the right hand, turn and hold the chair wherever it's comfortable for you. Inhaling, extending the spine, and then on an exhale, we're twisting using the chair and the knee to pivot and face the right. Inhale again And exhale to see if you can extend that twist a little farther, and then turn to face the opposite direction. Really feel that wringing out of the spine, releasing any tension you may be holding, and then back to neutral. Just clasping your fingers and placing your hands behind your neck. We're just going to provide a little bit of stretch and lengthening of the neck by simply lifting the occiput away from the neck, releasing the atlas and axis. Massaging the shoulders, using your hands to palpate the muscles of the shoulders. And just notice the tension that you're holding. I invite you to breathe in and release. Release the arms and let them fall along the side of your body. Moving into hip openers. Now these are some easy techniques you can do whilst you're seated to release any tension that you may be holding around the hips and the lower back. We're going to begin by shifting our body towards one edge of the seat. I'm going to begin with the left hip. And what we're going to do is release the leg and drop the foot so that it's supported by the floor. Now I've flexed my feet, but if you find this too intense, you may want to tuck the toes under to begin with. Flexing the feet actually releases a lot of acupressure points in the feet and provides a sense of relaxation in the whole body. So try and keep the knee in alignment with the hip and your neutral spine. Use the chair to support you and just let the hip drop to the side and let gravity do the rest of the work. This is a lovely psoas release. And also if you just palpate the buttocks, releasing some of the skin and turning the muscles, it's just very enjoyable. Inhaling, directing your breath to the hip joint and feeling that space as the joint lengthens, and exhale. We're going to move into a gentle lunge. So tuck the left foot under, and we're going to push down on your right leg to lift up into a gentle lunge. So your left foot is at 45 degrees and the right foot is straight ahead of you. The weight is bearing neutral through the center and a little onto the bent knee, so your right knee. The left leg is straight behind you. From here, we're going to move into a warrior position. So I'm going to invite you to raise your arms above your head, clasp the hands together into prayer position. Inhale, create that length along the flank, reach into the tips of your fingers, and we're going to release to turn and face the left, keeping your arms as parallel as possible, and then sink into the pose itself. So imagine you're going to sit down onto the chair. And hold that position for a couple of minutes, if you please. We're going to lower the right arm so it rests on our bent leg, and we're going to lift the left arm over our head into a long extension. Really feel the stretch along the flank of your body. And go back to center and take a seat. And we're going to repeat this on the other side. But before we do, just scan the body and notice how you're feeling. Is there more length and strength on one side of the body? Do you feel more actively engaged? How does that compare to the other side? Okay, so repeating that on the other side. So coming to the edge of the chair, and this time we're going to release the right hip. So again, you can either curl or tuck the toes under, or flex them behind you. And notice which one of those positions provides the most comfort, or which one creates the most resistance. We're just going to hold the chair. So I'm hugging the chair and holding with my right hand just to keep the balance. We're going to let gravity do the rest. So we're releasing the hip, relying on gravity, really allowing any tension in the hip joint to fall away. And you can use the breath to really extend this pose. So breathing in, feeling that joint release, and exhale. And when you're ready, we're going to come to a standing lunge. So tucking the right toe under, using the support of the chair to lift into a long lunge. So the right foot is at 45 degrees angle. Power leg is the back straight leg, and we're bending the left knee, ensuring that the ankle and the knee are aligned. Try not to have the left knee over your left toe. Let's just hold that and sink into that lunge as deep as you can. If that's too uncomfortable, just lift up slightly so that there is no discomfort. From here, we're going to move into a warrior. So raising your hands above your head, clasping the hands or in prayer position, and really feel that length along the spine as you extend. And then bring your arms down into parallel and sink down into the pose. Inhale, we're going to bring our left elbow onto our left knee. It's really lovely once you're balancing there, use the elbow to keep that hip, the bent hip, in alignment as you lift your right arm above your head and create a lovely long stretch along the right side of your body. Sink your right foot down into the ground so that you're really well anchored. Wonderful. When you're ready, release the pose, come up to standing position, and we're going to sit back down. Take a moment to scan the body and notice where there's any tension or resistance, or if you've released any tension that you're carrying. Next, we're going to move into eagle pose. Now, this is a lovely one where we're going to cross our knees. So we're going to begin with the left knee. We're going to lift our left leg, cross it over the right leg, and we're going to tuck the left foot under the right calf. So it's like a spiral twisting of the legs around one another. Using your hands, just release the skin around the buttocks, so you're really aware of your sit bones. Push down with the right foot, so ensure it's sinking into the earth below you and you've got a good anchor. This will help your spine to stay in neutral. We're going to repeat this using our arms. So we're going to wrap the right arm under the left elbow and try and bring the palms of the hands together. Now, if this is too intense for you, keep the backs of the hands together to begin with. If you can wrap the hands so that they're holding one another, I usually hold onto the thumb. And then what we're going to do is inhale and lift the elbows up. So there's this lovely extension. You can feel the shoulder blades release any tension that you're holding in your neck and shoulder. And there's also an extension of the spine. Push down with your right foot so you can really feel that push-pull and a lovely, lovely stretch. And release on an exhale, coming back to center. Releasing the arms and releasing the legs. Placing both feet on the ground and take a moment to scan the body. Let's repeat that on the other side, this time wrapping the right knee over the left leg and tucking the right foot under the left calf. Now, if you find one side is more tight or difficult than the other, just bring your awareness to that and do what is comfortable. If you have a prosthetic like I do, just be aware of crossing the legs, keep it to a comfortable position and try and keep a hugging sensation between the knees so that the legs are working against resistance. So there's this push-pull sensation going on. Again, I invite you to release the sit bones to keep that spine in neutral. And this time we're going to wrap the left arm under the right elbow and try and bring the palms of the hands together. Again, if you find that too difficult, just keep the backs of the hands together. And on an inhale, we're going to lift the elbows up. Just notice which shoulder seems tighter. Is it more difficult on the right side or was it more difficult on the left side? And this really brings your awareness to how you're holding tension in your body. Breathe in, exhale and try and lift a little higher. Really make sure you're pushing down with your left foot into the ground as you're lifting your hands up towards the sky. When you've had enough, just bring yourself into neutral, release the hands and allow the arms to rest at the side of your body before releasing the legs and bringing both feet down into seated pose. Next pose, we're just going to hold the back of the chair with our hands and hinge forward from the hips, providing a really lovely extension and length of the spine. Make sure your neck is neutral, so you're not looking down at the floor and you're not hyperextending. You're literally gazing ahead of you. Let those shoulders go and see if you can hinge forward a bit more. Use the breath to guide you at your own pace. Exhaling and coming back to seated position. Now we're going to tuck our hands under our buttocks. So the palms are facing down on the seat. We're just going to push down with our hands, releasing any tension we might have on the wrists. I'm going to invite you to stretch your feet out in front of you and make sure you've got a good grip. So please, no high heels. If you can be barefoot, or just wearing flat shoes for this particular pose. And now we're going to push down with the hands as we lift our buttocks off the chair into a reverse plank. Breathing in. Let's see if we can raise the buttocks slightly more. So you're lifting the heart and just allowing the neck to hang freely. It's a lovely heart opening. Push down with the feet to give you a bit more anchor and length. When you're ready, come back to seated position. You can repeat that a couple of times, time permitting. Okay, we're going to move swiftly on to Utkatasana, which is a chair pose. It's one of the most dynamic asanas or poses that you can do, which gives a full body workout. It's really benefited people with osteoporosis and provides that length and strength, also core body work. So we're going to begin in our seat of power position. So just homing back in, separating the glutes, make sure you're on your sit bones, neutral spine. Let's just stretch our arms up above our head. I'm going to invite you to now lower the hands. So exhale, slowly lowering the hands. And we're going to use the hands to help us hinge forwards. So imagine you're looking between palms of your hands ahead of you and push down through the feet. As you do so, you'll find your buttocks want to lift off the chair. So the idea is we're going to move forward with the hands, stretching forwards, lifting the buttocks off the seat, but we're not going to come to standing. The legs are really heavy, soft bend the knees, and there's this push-pull carrying on. It's almost as though you want to sit down with a long tailbone, but at the same time your arms are pushing you the other way to stand up. Long spine, a long stretch in the spine with a heavy tailbone. Inhale, exhale, inhale. With the exhale, imagine you want to sit back down, but you're going to stand up. And release. That's always a great one to start the day. Just tuning into the body, noticing if you have any tension around the neck or the shoulders. To end with, we're going to clasp our thumbs together behind our body, Shrug the shoulders up to the ears and allow them to sink down. And we're just going to have a lovely heart opening by stretching back. So the thumbs are moving down towards the ground as our neck falls back. Really releasing the sternum and opening that chest. You might want to repeat that. So inhale, exhale. Really be mindful about any pain. There should be no pain in the lower back. Now, if you don't suffer from high blood pressure and dizziness, you may want to take that to the next level, which is we're going to hinge forward from the hips and raise our arms behind us. So there's real push-pull happening here. The hands are moving up towards the sky, shoulder blades are coming together as we're hinging from the hips into a neutral plateau. Breathing in, exhaling, really squeezing those shoulder blades together, and when you're ready, come to standing. If you're feeling a little lightheaded or dizzy, please take a seat. Otherwise, we're just going to move into some tapping. We're going to start tapping our shoulders, down our arm, other side. Great way just to tune into the body, into the neck, around the back of the body, especially the lower back, the hips and the buttocks, down the sides of the legs, don't be shy. And just wipe the feet and give yourself a little shake. See how you're feeling. To end with, I'm going to introduce bellows breath. Now you can do this either standing up with your feet hip distance apart, and just make sure that your focus is really sinking the feet into the ground, so it's a really good anchor. Imagine there's a balloon in your from your navel to the hips. There's this lovely triangle form that's happening, and bring your awareness, the breath, into that zone, into your abdomen, and that's where you're going to breathe. Alternatively, you might want to sit, find that neutral position, and you can do exactly the same. Bring your awareness to the feet, sit up straight, and imagine a lovely triangle from your navel to either hips. And take the breath, so breathing in, expanding the navel. Imagine there's a balloon or a ball sitting in your navel, and you're expanding it with an inhale. Holding, and then exhaling. Keep completely releasing any air that you have in your belly. So with that intention, we are going to inhale and raise our arms up above our head. So that's an inhale. On an exhale, we're going to drop the elbows on the side of our ribs with force and make a loud noise. Ha! Okay, we're going to do that for 5 repetitions. So inhaling, really expanding the belly with the inhale. Exhale, ha! And again, inhale, ha! Really drop those elbows into the ribs to the side of the body, just exhaling with exertion, with pressure. Again, inhale, ha! 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 Fabulous. Give yourself a round of applause. And that completes the yang form of seated yoga. A great way to revitalize your day.